Chris has sucky audio this podcast, and Chris just sucks too. Sorry about it.
Okay, welcome. I think this is episode 14, and we got some new people coming on in here. I'm Chris. I'm kind of a mess right now. I just started working again. It's 2020. God, is it 2020? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? All right. Basically, I usually just go around the room if you want to say, like, your favorite color, if you want to, like, your greatest fear, or any medications you're taking right now. Let's start with, we got Aaron Shack.
Whoa! Hello! Favorite illness. I'm gonna go with...
Yeah, favorite illness.
I can't really say Corona. That's a little too on point.
SARS was very popular a few years ago.
SARS was hip.
SARS, the town?
I'm gonna go with just like a cough.
A cough?
A white cough.
A classic cough.
Some rhinovirus, you know, something like that.
What about swine flu?
Yeah.
Swine flu was pretty out there.
Swine flu was
that peaked with like whatever that Black Mirror show was.
Or Mad Cow.
Yeah.
You could go with Mad Cow.
That was like a thing. Those were like concerns, right?
When was swine flu? I want to say it was like 2010, right?
I was a kid, yeah. I remember being
high school for me.
And then bird flu.
Oh, bird flu.
Don't remember that one.
I remember bird flu.
You don't remember bird flu?
I don't remember bird flu. Was that real or?
Yeah.
No.
Just
I remember kids at school point at a
birds were harmed in the making of
we got
this
those
flu.
fake viruses too.
I'm just surprised it's not like a
The
specific
ones
bird.
we just make up for fun.
We got Andrew, acting relic, right here.
Hey, my favorite color is red, and my biggest fear is the deep, dark ocean.
Oh my god. Katie.
My name is Katie, and I think my favorite illness is probably thyroid disease. I have that,
Good one.
so I can, you know.
You can see it in Katie's eyes. you got so sincere. You got so heavy for a second.
Yeah, too real.
Joey boy, coming back.
Hi, I'm Joey. I'm real keen on pepperoni and mushroom pizza lately. Just loving that. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Biggest fear, other than just giant things in the ocean? Just now. It's just boring. Mm-hmm.
Wait. It sounds like everybody's kind of afraid of the things in the deep ocean. Like, what do you think's triggered that fear? What traumatized us as kids? Because that is one of my biggest fears, being out in the open ocean.
I mean, I feel like it's part of, we don't know what's down there, part of the unknown.
You think it's just a human instinct like this?
Yeah.
Fear of the unknown and not knowing how deep it goes and what could be down there. Even deep water in general, if you're floating on top and you look downwards and you can't see the bottom of something, your mind will play with what could be potentially down there.
Yeah. Especially with all the fiction and like prehistoric stuff and things like that. Gives you an idea of like, oh, this could be alive down there.
Well, I feel like it's also true, like, I'm no expert or anything, you know, but also like,
you're no expert in
I disagree.
I'm not.
Life.
I'm not. But I feel like, you know, it's kind of like a fight or flight kind of thing, you know? Like, if I'm going up against somebody who's also 5'1" in my size, I think, oh, I could probably take them. If I'm going up against somebody who's like 6'7" and built like a fucking Tonka truck, I'm probably gonna lose and run away. I don't know what's...
4'2" and they're a
Wait,
Tonka
hold
truck.
on. We're talking about a fish. Someone who's 6'7".
I'm just saying that if there's something down there and I don't know what I'm up against, I don't know if I can defeat it or not, you know?
You're also out of your element. I think
You gotta wrestle sharks and stuff.
People breathe a lot during fights, I think, and like...
Yeah.
Well, you would hope.
A huge disadvantage.
You're gonna lose right at the
I
beginning.
used to have nightmares all the time of giant sharks. I used to love sharks. I got really into Jaws. And I would have different dreams of giant sharks floating out of the ocean. And I'd be in like those McDonald's tunnels that you climb in when you're a little kid and you look out the bubble. And I'm like, wow, that's a really big fucking whale shark.
Those things were so fun as kids, but they're nasty, disgusting looking at those with
I didn't realize, yeah.
Eyes. Like, yeah, crusted over little yellow adult eyes.
Wait, we didn't get. Did Chris introduce himself? Did we find out his? Oh,
Chris did the intro.
What's your
He's a
favorite?
mess right now.
true.
Yeah, I'm like a mess. I love taking my temperature. I am full of beans. What were you? Yeah,
Ew.
full of beans.
What kind of beans?
Gross.
I had this canned beef chili over rice. Bunch of beans in there.
Ugh.
Katie, what was this? What was this Hold on. It's a civilization survived zillions of years on beans alone, Katie. You can't just eat them.
Okay, I
Yeah,
can't.
what's that about?
I can't. just
Hold on,
hate them.
I'm gonna look up bean facts, and I'm just gonna make you feel bad.
No.
I'm keen to lima beans.
Beans are disgusting, and the reason why is because they like pop in your mouth and they're gross and they don't taste well and their texture is absolutely deplorable, and I will die on that hill. Sorry.
Wait, beans pop?
Yeah, you know, like they gotta pop. There's a
Katie,
pop
beans
texture.
have been cultivated by humans for 6,000 years.
I don't actually give a flying
Yeah,
fuck.
we've kind of mastered the bean, honestly.
You've mastered the bean.
Yeah.
We've mastered the bean.
You've mastered
Yeah,
the bean.
we made coffee out of it. Yeah, yeah, we did that thing.
Yeah.
Did you see this? Did you hear about this? In Nicaragua, newlyweds are given a bowl of beans for good luck.
What kind of beans? Brown
And
beans?
that's just the truth.
What a terrible gift.
It's true. It's 10 mind-blowing bean facts.
Bean fact.
What are the other 9?
Really?
The world's
Actually,
largest bean pods grow up to 5 feet long.
oh, I don't care anymore. Beans are gross.
That's as tall
Almost,
as you.
yeah, that's
That's
if it's
wild.
built like a
You
got
Tonka
one
truck.
inch, you got 1 inch on a small, large bean pod.
Come to face with a bean pod and she's in fight or flight.
Well, it's smaller than her, so she can take the bean pod.
Man, I didn't eat dinner and those 2 shots are really getting to me now.
Yeah, what was everybody doing right before this?
Trying to install The Witcher 3 Complete Edition.
Dude, hell yeah. I was streaming and I've had 2 margaritas.
Ooh,
You were streaming? Yeah, I saw.
nice.
Katie's freezing for me. Right
Katie.
Oh, what were you guys doing?
I just had dinner. And we were playing Resident Evil, right?
Ooh, which one?
You were the
Me
green
and
boys.
Aaron just came hot off of a
2?
Resident Evil 1 stream.
Oh,
No,
one.
One. Just one.
Ooh, baby. That's nice.
One.
Yeah, it's Aaron's first time playing in like 3 years, and it's Resident Evil 1 Remake is like one of my favorite games ever.
Oh, dude. We played Resident Evil 2, the remake.
Yeah, we were doing some streams.
And it was my first time playing that in forever, too. And it was so different. But it was great. I want to end up getting all of them again.
Mm-hmm.
All the remakes.
Mhm.
Well, Aaron, me and Aaron love that game. The remake.
Oh,
remake
yeah.
2.
I'm excited for
That one's phenomenal.
the new one that they announced. I think it was 8, wasn't it?
Yeah, they have 8 coming out, and they have a remake of Resident Evil 4, which I am
Yeah, that'll be great.
so I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, we got to see more on that one.
I didn't know that there was a movie.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about that?
The movie?
Well, something you were telling me that tied to the movie.
Oh, yeah, I found out that Vendetta was a movie, and I was like, oh shit, like, I gotta watch this, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, we're like recreating the hallway scene, so I want to analyze that movie, and I might do Leon's part if so.
So someone asked you to be a part of their film project where they're recreating it.
Yeah, it's like
You're gonna play Leon.
highlighting
My boy's gonna
stunt
play
stuff.
Leon.
I think it's the
That's
hair.
cool.
But no, I didn't know that
Yeah.
they made like a full like CG movie with all the characters and stuff from the game. So that's why I'm interested, because I got tired of the actual live action movies, like 2 movies in.
Yeah, I think I've only seen Resident Evil 1 and 2 on the live action thing. I've never seen any of the CG ones. I mean, you
The
guys?
CG ones are cool. They've done like 3 now, I think.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, they got multiples, yeah.
What? I didn't even know
And
that.
they got like the whole cast. Like everybody eventually bumps into each other at some point.
I'm gonna have
And then
to
of
take a
course
day.
now they have a Netflix show, right? With Leon and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Claire.
There's a show, right? There's a show coming out?
Yeah, coming to Netflix and Amazon, or not Amazon,
What?
a animated Leon and Claire show.
like 3D models or like 2D
Yeah,
animated.
3D models.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then the other one's supposed to be about the Wesker kids. But,
Oh yeah, he had a son,
that
right?
one's live action.
Yeah, he had a little smooth-skinned son.
little
6. Yeah, he had a little evil-looking little spawn boy. Didn't everybody hate him?
Mm-hmm.
And you get to play as Sherry again, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, Katie, you started playing World of Warcraft, right?
I did.
And you met a boy?
I did.
You met a boy on World of Warcraft?
I did. Yeah.
Can you please tell that start to finish? That's
Oh, wow.
Did you meet him at the
so
Scourge? The Scar?
I don't even know what that is yet. I played for like
okay.
3 hours, maybe.
Addicted.
And yeah, I'm addicted, bros. So what happened is I finally finished the tutorial and I was finally able to get into like the regular game and get everything up and moving. And
level 25.
No.
Don't insult her like this.
But all of a sudden I was just like running and I was being dumb and stupid and I was spinning around like an idiot. And all of a sudden there was somebody who was running by and I was like, hey, do you like my dance moves? Like you can like PM somebody.
You said this to somebody.
I did. Mm-hmm.
You just PM'd a random person?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Is your character pink?
No, actually, so she has red hair, she has green emerald eyes, she has very pale skin, and I named her Jolene.
Two first names.
Two first names.
Irene.
Jolene. I couldn't name her Jolene, because you can't. It was too long. But
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's too long.
So you picked up the first guy that you met on World of Warcraft? You're supposed
got
to
it.
shop around.
You shepherd up the men.
To be fair,
what-
Joe,
what-
you haven't heard how good this guy is at the game.
yeah.
Oh.
Andrew knows.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Gave you some
He
coins.
has a crystal Shemader.
So he's been playing the game since it first came out. He's 40, and
Hold on. You met this guy, then you found
You're
the baby,
fucking
right?
with us.
no, I'm not fucking with you. No, I found the baby first because that was in the tutorial.
Ooh, that was an omen of things to come.
Yes.
You found a baby.
Oh,
cub
yeah.
in
Is this
nest,
a
right?
romantic meeting, or is this just like, hey, I made a friend?
No, Joey, we got married.
Yeah, they went on a date. I saw them sitting on a
In-game?
date.
We went on a date.
Well, tell
A
okay,
Warcraft
so you
date or like a
No,
you danced in this man's face and then said, PM'd him, do you like my dance?
I mean, I asked him if he liked my dance, and he said it was really great. And then he
It's a really great dance.
showed me. He showed me all of the things, because like in World of Warcraft, like I'm still learning, but he showed me all of the stuff that you can like mount, right? That you can like ride on. So it
He
turns
showed
out
you-
he had
Oh.
like,
Showed you his
Suggestive.
mounts.
yeah, he showed
Andrew
me how
has
to mount,
a little
but-
Cheshire cat smile on right now. And
He's
And
getting red.
depending on which mounts he had, he may have paid because some of them might be the premium mounts that cost like $40 to get.
Anything that's half a bird,
premium
don't
mount.
believe him.
Logan said you could ride a sperm in the game.
No,
It was like an Easter limited edition Easter mount.
Oh my god, no, no.
Are you in love with this man?
I think so, Joey.
Well, then what happened?
So he set up like he put a picnic basket after he showed me all the stuff, and he set up a picnic basket, and we just started chatting. And I asked him, I said, "Okay, so like, what do you do for work?" And he told me that he works for his family business, and that he's been playing the game since it first came out. And we just like got to like know each other, you know. And then after that, he set up a little like bench, and we sat on the bench next to each other and
He set
continued
up
to
a
talk
bench?
for a little bit. Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the
And
movie?
you really got
Bench.
and you really got to know him?
Yeah, I really got to know him.
Okay. And what was his name?
I don't remember.
You don't remember his first name?
He never told me his first name. I didn't ask.
Wait, you only know his handle.
I don't even remember that.
No, the
Mystery
only people who
Man.
actually remember his name are the people that she was telling proxy-wise who was on the date, who are better listeners than Katie is.
Yeah.
So this was a blind date, one-off like type of thing? You just
it wasn't-
log into Warcraft and you go seduce all these people?
Does it surprise you?
I guess. No, it doesn't. I've seen you play Dead by Daylight.
Why does everybody
Yeah.
think I'm such a fucking whore?
Well, Katie, Katie built her gaming computer, and she was originally going to build it for Sims and streaming makeup stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I've never seen someone get addicted to a game and then she picked up Dead by Daylight. Boom, she was gone. She was
Gone.
She was a gamer.
Like
Haven't seen her in
Overwatch
years.
was one thing because she found her character that she likes and she still consistently plays. But Dead by Daylight was one of those things where she got into it so hard that she bought me the game just so that I could play with her.
One time. Well, I don't know about the Overwatch thing because what's it called? Okay, so Katie immediately picked Sombra, and then she also had a liking for Diva. And Jared was like, "Man, look at Katie getting all over like the different gameplay styles, Sombra and Diva." And I was like, or she just picked the two pink characters and stuck with that. And Jared was like, "Oh, okay."
The simpler answer.
The simpler answer.
Sombra's like purple, so I like to mix it up a little bit. Okay.
Oh, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it's true. I feel like I've been like really called out. Thank you.
We're just paying attention.
What games
still
has everyone
remember your first name?
been sticking to these days?
Dead by Daylight, and I flirt with the killers.
You see what we mean? Do you see what we mean?
Last stream was called Simp Saturday.
That was today's stream, yeah.
And
Saturday.
what did you say? Dip it in Huntress or something?
I wish. No. I said Simp Saturday, slug for Huntress.
Oh yeah, and that's to draw people in, right? Simp Saturday.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we can go in a clockwise motion. What's everybody playing?
I'm on that Marvel's Avengers like crazy.
Dude.
Oh yeah, that just came out, right?
Yeah.
What are you playing on?
I'm on PS4 and PC. Yeah.
You'll have to add me later for PlayStation.
Okay, yeah, I can add you. Yeah.
You run around with the little heroes and stuff?
Yeah, we run around with the heroes. They just delayed like the next hero to like maybe December or next year, maybe.
Kate
What
Bishop?
was that?
Yeah, they had to push it back. They put out like a release that they're just struggling like fixing bugs and just getting the game working, you know, keeping everything stabilized because it's a live service game. And they're struggling like pretty much every other live service game is. When you get to the end game, there's like the content is very repetitive.
Yeah.
And then you have the big hands lady that you have to go through.
Yeah, you got the big hands,
Before
Kamala.
you can play
yeah.
any of that. She
Well, that's
she
the
has
story
big
mode.
hands.
With Kamala.
Yeah, story.
What do you
mode.
play, like little Peace Walker-esque missions as heroes and stuff? Is that what the main game is?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
yeah.
there's a storyline.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
storyline, then there's, you know, different modes, you know, different things you can go into. Different objectives, difficulties,
It's-
gear that you collect.
Like that game, I can't remember the name of it. It failed, though, but...
Anthem,
Anthem, yeah. But I'm gonna connect this
Destiny,
game kind of to...
Division, all those.
Yeah. It makes me think of, like, Destiny, but, like, the very beginning of Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
People were excited for Anthem, right?
Mm-hmm.
They were.
People were interested in Anthem. I think it was
Yeah.
the seeing BioWare make a new game that wasn't in any of their pre-existing universes and stuff like that was what drew people in.
What game are you playing?
Me?
Katie?
No, Katie already said Dead by Daylight, World of Warcraft, The Sim Saturday.
Oh, okay. So you're kind of talking to me right now.
The game of manipulating men.
Yes, when me and Katie were private chatting, she was rubbing her hands together, and she said, "I'm gonna squeeze every cent from his body."
Okay, hold on. First of all, hold on. Andrew, and I'm going to call Andrew out right now. And I think
really?
he knows exactly what I'm going to say. Andrew
I
was
think
like,
I know what you're
that-
going to
You
say.
know
And
exactly.
the thing is,
You-
I said
you
it
can
because
say
I'm
it.
right.
Yes, Andrew, you can absolutely explain. Go on. I am totally fine with you explaining.
So what I said to Katie was that if this guy on WoW has been playing the game since launch, has basically every mount in the game, some of them possibly the premium mounts, this guy's got a lot of gold. So you need to play him like a damn fiddle and walk away with as much gold as you can to start your empire here. Because you can get a decent amount if you know how to play your cards correctly.
I want you to
said,
make a how-to video on Katie, how to get the most out of this
Yeah,
guy
Katie was doing this
on
wild
World of
shimmy.
Warcraft. Because the way you said that was so perfect.
Andrew basically said, in for lesser of terms, suck him dry for his money.
Lesser of terms, even. Someone would say this.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, I've never gone the full extreme in MMOs with this, but I've definitely dabbled in the playing with people's heartstrings and trying to see how much money I can get out of it. I definitely did it back in RuneScape days.
Has any of you ever pretended to be a girl on a game?
Because, well, the perfect thing was that there was a time in RuneScape's history where they released an update to the way that you could customize your character in terms of color palette, They made a fatal flaw, though, because they put in an expanded color palette other than just standard issue, red, white, blue kind of stuff. They added different shades in, and one of them happened to be very close to the player's skin tone.
Flesh tone.
So what you had happen was people figured out, if you combine the flesh tone color with these outfits, suddenly you're walking around with no clothes on.
Oh.
Yeah, so this became a thing, so much so that I never went to it, but there was a rally that was held in game that was a run from one city to another, but you had to have the no clothes option on.
A rally?
Yeah, I think it was like
a streak.
Couple thousand players got together and just did it. Yeah.
They do that in Seattle called the Naked Bike Ride.
How fun.
Those poor seats.
See, what you have to do is you have to be in the game, and if you need something or want something, you just have to go, hi, I'm like really new to this game, and I haven't really played before, so I was just wondering, there's this really
Can we shut this down? I hate this. Let's shut this down.
Your voice is cracking, and it's like it's already pretty high.
Shut this down.
What's going on, Katie?
Get that bread, get that head, then leave.
Yeah, let's cut that out.
Just,
cut the head right off that.
Yeah,
fight or flight.
I want you to picture that story as a snake, and it just got its head cut off. It's just trying to slither its way back to its house.
Excuse me. I just really need like some coins to eat.
Ooh, I just need a little bit more left to go, and then I have everything I need. I'm a.
Yeah.
I actually have one on my list, Chris, that I wanted to ask you and Aaron.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I wanted to ask both of you, what got you into making content online, either in terms of video making or streaming, and what was one of your first things that you produced?
You're asking me and Chris?
No, it was directed at Chris and Aaron, but everybody, I want to hear your answers to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Aaron, why don't you start?
Oh, man. Let's see. I think I started back in 2014. I streamed just direct from the Xbox. That was the first time I had like access to the type of streaming stuff, because like everything was expensive, man. Like point the camera at the TV and like stream that way. That was expensive. Or having the AV cables to like plug up to the computer with all the weird capture cards and stuff like that. It took me a while. It took maybe 2 or 3 years before I bought a capture card. Yeah. And then went from there.
I remember watching playthroughs of people who would film their TV like that with a camera sitting on the table. and then
you see like the flickering CRT.
Yeah, you would.
Or if they had like a little light that cycled through the screen.
So what made you actually want to start doing that?
I don't know. I think I always, like, even at home, like with family or friends or whatever, we'd always be like, oh, come check out this part of this game. This is really cool. Watch me beat this boss or whatever it was. So it was like kind of like we've always been streaming. We've always been doing some sort of content where we were kind of like, look at what we're doing. You know, look at me entertain you, whatever it is. So it's the entertainer thing, I think. Just being an overall entertainer.
Okay, and wow, I think if I go all the way back, I don't even know what year this would be. This would be middle school era me, and somebody showed me a channel called, I still remember it, Psychedelic Snake, and he would just do Let's Plays and stuff, but he was very loud and very energetic, and he had a great way of telling stories. I would do that, and I think that was cool. I would watch somebody called 666 the Heartless 666. And he actually had the camcorder on the table kind of thing, and he was playing like Silent Hills and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Wow.
And then listening to, once I started working and listening to Mega 64 podcasts, actually, because they already had like quite a backlog. I think they were, at the time, I think they were up to like episode 100 or something. But dude, they're like 17, 18 in those first episodes, and I was like, that would be cool to just highlight, you know, who my friends are, where my life is at, like, at this moment in time and stuff, or like what games I'm playing, what this, that, and the other thing, and just have that as like a memory bank. That would be really cool. And I think that's what really kicked it off. And then I'd be lying if I said Game Grumps didn't influence me at all. Just you know, like seeing people just start up and like do this in a very professional manner, I think was very inspiring. And I just was like, fuck it, I want to do this. And I think that's where I came from.
Yeah.
Andrew, what about you?
So I pulled open my YouTube as well just to check the date, and I started putting out videos in 2014 is when I started as well.
Wow.
Well, we all started then.
Basically,
Everybody's
yeah.
2014.
Good year.
Yeah, pretty decent year, actually. So I started with I obviously got inspired by various other things that I was watching at the time, mainly Rooster Teeth people and Two Best Friends stuff at the time. And then I started by actually getting a capture card and getting it onto my Xbox 360. The first thing I produced with it was, oh boy, this was my grade 12 English writer's craft quest, and I made a Minecraft narration, or not even narration, a narrative video. Like, I came up with a little storyline with a couple of my friends. We shot it over, I think, a day and recorded voices while doing the gameplay of stuff. So we had multiple, two Xboxes set up. I was capturing footage and just sort of floating above everybody, and they were just running along on a track, and we had a script going for it and all this stuff. So
professional, right?
I put this thing all together, cut it in Windows Movie Maker because that's all I had at the time. I didn't have access to anything better.
On Windows Movie Maker also.
Yeah.
And then we edited it together, and it was just like, yeah, this is pretty good. Not knowing that I would then have to get up in front of my entire school and show it to everybody in the auditorium.
Oh my God.
In front of everybody, because I got picked as one of the better pieces of writer's craft. And I distinctly remember the time that I went up after a segment of it had played and said, yeah, check it out. It's this channel name, and go subscribe, and said that with a cold smile on my face. Wholeheartedly asked the entirety of my school to go subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. I remember doing a school project in Gary's mod.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what the project was, but it was like, it had the Left 4 Dead characters and stuff, and they were explaining something. And I remember I got in trouble because I said, I wish I knew what the project was about, but I was like, I made one of the characters be like, that's pretty bitchin'. And I got in trouble.
You said that?
Yeah, I said bitchin', and the teacher went, oh,
It's not a bad word.
bitchin'? Fuck off.
You added an IN.
Yeah. Yikes.
Something that also made me want to start with this was my interest in editing. I thought editing was super cool, and like I always liked videos with like heavy edits, like honestly like YouTube poops and stuff like that. It's fucking funny. And I was like, man, I can never do that. And then I was like, fuck that, no, I can. And like I'm just gonna dedicate like a couple hours every day or weekday or something and try to learn how to do this stuff. And that was really fun. And I also needed footage to edit, so that's where recordings and stuff came from.
You know what? I did a project on Gary's Mod too.
Did you?
We were in college, and I was gonna make video games, and it was like my first semester of college, and we did ours on violence in video games, and we compared it to, like, you know, those old DVD commercials where they talk about, you know, stealing footage from movies and ripping them to DVDs and like selling them to your friends or giving them away for free and stuff like that. We did it off the theme of those commercials. So it's like, you wouldn't steal a car, you wouldn't do this, but you play video games. And, yeah, and it was really cool. And we did it all in Gary's Mod. And it was just hilarious.
Do you remember what the characters were and stuff? Like, did you voice
I don't know.
act?
It's still on YouTube. It's like one of my oldest videos.
Is it?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I have that. And then we did like a road trip of me and my friend going to Nashville. We did like the whole drive there and the whole trip and then coming back. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. That was a fun little theme. But that was like outside gaming.
When you went to Nashville, did you go to the Bass Pro Shop?
No.
Dude, I want it. That's one of my life goals. I want to go to that pro shop. For anybody who doesn't know, in Nashville, Tennessee, one of the 7 largest pyramids in the world is a Bass Pro Fishing shop.
I can't believe I missed that.
What are you talking about?
It's true.
Oh, you've never seen the inside of this thing, Joey?
I haven't.
It's a magical world. It's like one of the wonders of the modern world.
It is one of the 7 wonders.
I've only ever been into one Bass Pro Shop, and I accidentally ate edibles that day, and it was not a great time.
Hold on. I want to hear that story really bad. But yeah, one of the 7 largest pyramids in the world. It's a glass pyramid sitting in the middle of Nashville, Tennessee. It's a Bass Pro Fishing shop, and I want you to go look at pictures. Stop what you do. I don't care if you're driving. I want you to look at pictures of this.
No, do not listen to that. No.
Officer, I swear I was looking at the Bass Pro Fishing shop. The podcast told me to do. Joey, you did edibles by accident? And what? That sounds traumatizing.
So the only experience that I have with a Bass Pro Shop, I was living in Colorado at the time. And we smoked a little bit as payment, and we got it as payment from someone.
Wait, what does that mean?
We watched like someone's dog or something, and this person paid us with what they were paid with, which was pot. And we're like, okay, it's Colorado. We'll do whatever.
Like pot leaves?
Yeah, dude. And so I'm watching Bob's Burgers. Everything is fine. I'm high. I get a little hungry and I say, I need a snack. They give me chocolate. I find out that the entire candy bar that I just ate was an edible. So I'm high for 3 days, just like sweating. The next day, they like whisk me away because I don't know what's going on. We go to a Bass Pro Shop. I'm there with all these people I don't know. Everyone's wearing woodland camo. I don't get it. And all of a sudden, it just smells so bad. And someone had like a Doberman or some dog. Maybe like a Great Dane. It was big and it had pointy ears. And the entire store, I'm not even kidding when I say the entire store smelled so bad that they kicked him out and we had to go with him too. And I ended up leaving with a pair of gloves.
Oh, wow.
Wait.
It was so strange.
The whole store smelled? What? Did it smell like a dog or?
The whole store, like it was a very large load. And like the dog had, he did what he had to do inside the store, right by all the fishing rods or whatever the fuck was over there.
Oh no.
And it was very bad. I guess they didn't have windows open or something. And it's a big store, but you couldn't get away from that smell.
Does anyone have any embarrassing weed stories?
No.
I have sort of one, and it's the antithesis of learning your tolerance for stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't generally smoke weed at all. I don't think I ever have, aside from just some minor e-cigs and stuff like that. But the first time I actually properly had it was within edible brownies. So I'm all around a table of adults who are much older than me. I'm with my dad and his friends. They're all reasonably experienced pot smokers and stuff like that, and they've been at this game for a hell of a lot longer than I have. So they know their tolerance for stuff.
I hope someone calls me an experienced pot user in my future.
They got their license.
I have no idea my tolerance. So they say, with these ones, you might want to take half or a whole. So I'm like, well, I'm going to see what my limits are like. So I'm going to take a whole.
Oh, that's so brave with a new drug.
So, and I can probably pull up my sketchbook here because I have my sketchbook in front of me just in case, like, hey, I don't know what pot does really to me. I want to see what happens, where the pen takes me, if you will.
I'll follow the pen's fumes, yes.
So the ultimate of this is that partway through the night, I'm like, man, everything feels just so far away. I can't, I feel like things are way too far away. It feels weird to me. I don't understand what's going on. What I don't understand, because I'm so high, is that my glasses have slid down my face and I'm staring at them like this. And my perception of the world has been so far removed from me that I can't readjust my glasses. And I just feel that this is my antithesis and this is where I'm trapped.
Oh no, you felt trapped.
A pen? That's pretty new, though. When was this?
The pen? What do you mean?
You said you smoked it with a pen, right? You said you followed the pen?
Yeah, with the sort of the e-pen or whatever it was at the time. That was the one and only time I smoked. The pen was really, I just had my sketch pad and just like a ballpoint pen in front of me just to see what I would draw or write. Most of it, like I look at it now and it looks like the writings of a deranged madman because it's just me processing my internal thoughts out to a page because I couldn't vocally express them. So there's a part where I wrote down, please close the door, because I couldn't yell out, hey, close the door, because people weren't closing the fucking door.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. I remember my first time ever smoking. My girlfriend at the time and my roommate they got like a volcano, where if you know what that is, it's kind of...
Oh, yeah!
Like a volcano.
It's a bag. Vapor bag.
It's a very potent way of smoke. You should not do a volcano your first time. And I got fucking zonked, dude. I was a different person.
What's a volcano?
It's a way you fix a bag, like a huge popcorn bag like this big, over something that just fills it with smoke, and then you pass the bag around and you go, God.
What?
That is,
yeah, it's filled with hot
good.
vapors. It's a giant vapor, essentially.
And stuff. I got so anxious. I just melted into the couch and I got so anxious. And then my girlfriend was like, "Can you take me home?" And I was like, "Okay." And then I grabbed my keys and then we got to the car and I was like, "I'm not driving right now. Fuck this."
Oh, shit.
I remember throwing my keys in my front yard and walking back inside. That's probably not a good idea.
Well, it's a good thing that your internal thought process took over and just like, nope, this is not a good idea.
Yeah, I literally could have killed someone. Fuck me. Growing up, my best friend lived on the same block as me, but the other side of the block. So it'd take like 3-minute walk to get to my friend's house. So I remember one of my other first experiences smoking after the whole volcano mishap. I smoked at his house at a party, and then I remember getting so... just like uncomfortable and like, oh, I don't like feeling like this and whatever. So I went out the door and I ran home because I was afraid of him seeing me leave and then seeing me down the block. So I ran home so he wouldn't see. And then I remember telling him about it and he's like, "You ran home? What?"
I just had to get back.
So that story reminded me of one of my own, Chris, and it's a phrase that a couple of my high school friends will badger me with every now and again, which is "gotta be first." So what gotta be first is that I think this was grade 11 of high school. My girlfriend and I had mutually decided, hey, this isn't working out, let's break up. I'm still friends with this person, very nice person, but we just mutually decided, hey, it's not working out, let's split it up like this. So anyways, we did that at a coffee shop, mutually decided, good shit. Anyways, she gets a ride back with her folks to her house. Now, her house is distinctly farther away from the coffee shop than mine is, and I'm just walking. So I decided to more or less sprint home the multiple blocks that it would be, and internally, all I could think was, gotta be first to change my Facebook status to not in a relationship.
Otherwise, it'll look like you got broken up.
Were there no apps yet?
Oh, no.
In hindsight, Joey, that's a very good point. I probably could have done it from my phone, but my internal process was, I just gotta be first to get home to change my Facebook status.
I do remember using Facebook on my flip phone, and like it had a very different like layout of it wasn't like mobile friendly at all. Like you would scroll down. Like I remember that Messenger wasn't a thing.
Yep.
Dude, I remember having a MySpace.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wild. Did anyone ever try to hide a hickey from their parents?
Oh, yeah.
Never hide.
Never hide. What does that mean?
Hide.
What does that mean? Your brain just thought to say that to me immediately when I said that. So what does that mean? Never hide?
I never hid it, you know? They knew who it was from. I had long hair, so half the time it would cover it. I was good. If anything, I was the one that'd be in trouble when I went to my girlfriend's house.
I know both your parents, and that checks out.
Yep, my mom would be like, Joe, what the fuck are you doing with that on your neck? You gotta be presentable. My dad would walk in, he'd be like, Joe, you go and you let a girl do that to you? I'm like, it's
Dude, no, I remember going to Joey's house and partying with Joey's mom, and that's one of my fondest memories in the entire world.
Yeah, once or twice a year, you know, have the little bonfire. Stacy comes out.
I just remember playing like beer pong with your mom, and I remember being like, wow, this is like one of the coolest moms I've ever met in my entire life.
She's something.
She's great. She's a wonderful woman. And I love her. Oh my God. I'm sorry. And your brother? Such a sweetheart.
Have you seen him recently? Chris knows all the stories.
You want to tell some of those stories?
Okay, I'll give a quick one real fast. That way you guys know what's going on. So my mom is cleaning his room, and she goes in, and she runs out, and she comes to me, like, breathing very heavily. Joe, you wouldn't believe the fucking shit I had to deal with in there. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, so I'm cleaning, right? So I find these little fucking cups, okay? And inside of them, I think that it's either shampoo or I think it's from his dickie. I'm like, what? Little cups. Hiding them behind his bed so I don't see him. He's weird. He's like your father. He's fucking strange. And I'm like, I'm over here just trying to, go about my business. I could have been in the bathroom, sitting on the porcelain throne, and she's at the door like, Joe, you wouldn't fucking believe the shit that I have to clean up. I'm like, don't clean it up then.
What else did she find in his room?
The list goes on.
Oh no!
But I won't do that.
Fucking mom.
Oh, come on,
cups.
Fucking, he sticks his dicky in the cups. Like, Joe, I don't know what he's doing, but he gets it from your father. I swear.
Wait. No, there's another thing that your mom found in a.
Are you talking about,
in his room?
Yeah. She found an anal sleeve.
He told me she found a fleshlight in your brother's room, and she goes, Joe, I think it's an asshole.
Yeah, she found an anal sleeve fleshlight, and I don't think that's the girl's like thingy. I think that's a fucking asshole.
I love your mom. Your mother is one of my favorite people.
She has a dog now, so she's busy.
It's an asshole.
So, how's everyone else's moms? Are you okay, Aaron Shack?
Yeah, dude, I haven't laughed like that in ages.
Did you ever see that? Reminds me of the picture. Did you see the little kid dressed up as Batman, and it says when mom finds the piss drawer, and he's just crying?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite pictures ever online.
Yeah.
It's always like that. Whenever you come into contact with her. Oh, my baby, what do you want to eat? You want to make some peanut butter bread? It's so good. Oh, you got anything else? The fuck do you want, huh?
Peanut butter bread.
Just like, it's like 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on to another subject. Let's get away from that.
Sure.
Yeah.
What else you got written in that little notebook, Andrew?
Well, I was going to loop back to something that you sort of brought up, Chris, which is the getting in trouble for making videos in school, either university or college or what have you. I don't know if I've ever told the story about basically almost getting arrested for making a YouTube video.
What?
Oh,
What?
Ooh.
What?
That sounds
Our
like
Andrew almost arrested?
Well,
that sounds like clickbait. I got arrested for my video, and then like
Yeah.
making a YouTube
Yeah, yeah. and then
thumbnail like this.
He's like,
Intense thumbnail.
behind the bars.
in his little orange suit.
Yeah, you would put bars.
So anyways, this was second year of university, and I had my digital media teacher, and he gave us the objective of we had to create a 1 and 30-second silent film about an object in our house. Most people did like cool artsy stuff. I had a friend who did a really cool stop motion one about these just 2 coffee mugs that got into a disagreement and stuff like that. Me being who I am and just the hobbies that I have. It's just like, I'm going to take my video game controller and turn it into a character and have fun with it. So I wanted to do this sort of, and I have it up on
now
my
you're in the
screen
slammer
here.
for 40 plus years.
Going with the artsy title of Live What You Play. So there's just idea that
dude. I will do it.
any action that you do in a video game comes back to affect you in the real world. So I had this thing of like getting just a parry in Dark Souls and you get blood splattered on the controller and blocking a whole bunch of hits and you get all these scars and scrapes on the controller. Like I cut my controller up with an X-Acto knife and stuff. But the final shot and what got me called in, and I'll explain in a little bit. At the same time, when we were in second year, we were also working on a project where we were working with the local police department in redoing their website. So we got to tour their like office and stuff, and we got to tour a little bit their range, and they let us keep some of their bullet casings. So being me, and I came up with this idea for, hey, the Xbox controller has those 2 charges in there for batteries. So I fed my 2 casings in there to look like empty casings after you see me just kill a random person in GTA 5. So I do that. That's not what got me called in and anything like that. Is that right after that, I took a entire case of blanks that I had borrowed from my dad, but that looked like live ammunition, and just put them on the desk and reloaded the 2 slots and then clicked it back into the controller. So I submitted this to my professor. And I don't hear back from them for a couple days in terms of my grade. I'm like, man, what's going on? Like, that was pretty good, you know. There might be some edits here that look kind of off and odd and stuff. Keep in mind, they're blanks. Like, they can't do anything, but from a visual standpoint, yeah, they look like live rounds.
They look real.
So anyways, I got called into, I think it was my professor, the dean of my program, and then a whole bunch of others. And I sat down with them, and they basically, like, they were very diplomatic about it, and they asked me, are you okay? Like, are you? And I was just like, I was really confused because it's just like, man, I just want the marks, man. I don't care about any of this. Like, I didn't do anything wrong in my head. So eventually they discovered, no, nothing was wrong. Those were blanks. He didn't do anything wrong. What he told me afterwards was that when we were in that meeting, in the other room, there was a cop positioned in such a way that were I to get violent, he would remove me from the room.
So would you get like a 90?
So yeah, that's the story of how I almost got basically arrested for making a random YouTube
Okay, so
video.
what was the grade?
Well, I got like an 85. It was a good score.
I wanted an A on the test. I got 2 to the chest. That's the moral of the story.
Well, no, the moral is you basically go to your professor ahead of time and say, hey, I'm doing this. These aren't real rounds. They can't hurt anybody. Like, it's not real. It's all fictional. And you do that ahead of time.
It's all
not
in
just
your head.
create the video and just hand it to them in an uploaded URL.
Oh, God damn.
Yikes. Yeah.
I love sharing recommendations with people, so I was wondering if everybody could go around and share one game, film, or show that they absolutely think everybody should see, watch, or play.
That's a good one.
Just one consumable piece of media that
you can do multiple if
see.
you wish.
Okay.
I have a couple written down. Especially if it is something that gets overlooked a lot.
Okay, I got a few racked up. Let's see.
Go for it.
A game that I think that everyone should play is either, I don't know, the first things that come to mind are either Journey, the indie game, or Metal Gear Solid 3. It was such an experience.
What's the indie game?
What?
Oh, Journey, the indie game? Okay.
Yeah, the one where you find out that you played with people after the fact.
Yeah.
It was like 8 people or whatever. Great game. Or Metal Gear Solid 3, just because it's a phenomenal ride and story. a show that I definitely recommend is, I don't know why, I just really enjoyed watching Raised by Wolves recently. That was Ridley Scott directed that, and he's the guy that did the first Alien. And I just like the concept. It's visually really awesome looking, and it also touches on topics of like androids, you know, being more familiar with human emotion and, you know, just how people interact and things like that. And then a movie is probably the Robin Williams movie, What Dreams May Come.
Oh, okay. I've never even heard of that.
Which a lot of people are like, oh, it's a great one. It takes place, well, I don't want to ruin it, but it's one of the ones that I feel like is overlooked, but touches on some really cool topics of like dreaming and death and things like that and letting go, and I find it very interesting.
Yeah, you were always really into dreams and just stuff surrounding dreams and symbolism and stuff.
Oh yeah, I still am. I just bought a pound of Kalea Zakatakiki again.
Do you want to tell that story?
I mean, if everyone's cool with it, then yeah, sure, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I bought like an ounce of this stuff, and it was called Kalea Zakatakiki. Now that's a dream herb similar to African dream root that Mexican shamans would use way back in the day. It tastes horrible. So bad.
Dude, it tastes like fucking hot crap. I hated it.
I can't even explain to you. I tried mixing it with Gatorade a day or two ago, and it did not do anything to help. I felt nauseous. But it's supposed to increase lucidity and the ability to remember the vividness and everything in your dreams. And it does. It does. When you take it a few times and if you go to bed, it's more like the right mindset and things like that. But Chris came over one day and we had it all set to smoke. We had it all set to drink tea.
Oh, it was awful both ways.
The smoke is harsh. When you drink the tea, it's like as soon as it touches your lips, it's instant regret. Because we had like Coke or something, like Coca-Cola, to wash it down as a chaser with like Oreos or something. It was just, and we were sitting there waiting like, I wonder when it's gonna happen. And I think the excitement killed the whole thing. So all we did was drink this horrible juice that night.
Juice. It was like, it was water with fucking dirt in it, dude.
I mean, but here I am still doing it, you know, I'm probably gonna have some tonight.
You don't do that.
I think that people should, especially now, you know, this past year with all this free time, depending on where you're at, like, looking into all that stuff is so cool, especially, like, how we were talking about getting into all the creative stuff. It's like, you can find some really interesting stuff just in the subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Aaron, you got your game movie show?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Yeah, like, well, it doesn't have to be a big thing, and it can also change, like, next week. Like, well,
yeah.
Aaron, in this current mindset, what would you recommend?
First things that come to mind.
Yeah, like, what's
like
a weird
the first
game
thing
or
that
something?
shot to my mind was Alan Wake. Like, I think that
Yeah.
was such an underdog game that just nobody caught on to it. And there's like, I think there's a bunch of horror fanatics and like Stephen King.
They're making a sequel.
Types and stuff like that. Yeah, and they're working on sequel. So, I mean, that's the biggest news that we heard from completing Control, which Control feels very much in that realm of Alan Wake, of like freaky, weird, psychological things happening.
See, I had no idea that was by the same publisher.
Yeah, Remedy did that. They did Max Payne.
That's crazy.
And Control, Quantum Break, which was another interactive, like, time manipulation game, and it had, like, IRL cutscenes that changed depending on how you play the game. You know, you'd get, like, a different scene that you would watch in between the episodes. Kind of a cinematic type thing, like Until Dawn, Mamba Dan, Heavy Rain, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And this other game, Spelunky, I don't think enough people know about Spelunky.
I've
The
heard of
rogue game
Spelunky.
where you're like Indiana Jones type character with a whip, and you just go through procedurally generated 2D levels. And you just advance through a typical Mario type story, you know, like lava levels, there's a jungle level, there's, you know, caves and whatnot, different types of enemies, bosses, weapons, all that kind of stuff.
It's co-op,
Power-ups.
right?
Yeah, and it's co-op. It's 4-player co-op, and Spelunky 2 just came out like a couple weeks back on PS4 and PC. And I just go on Twitch, and there's only like 2,000 people streaming it, which isn't much.
Yeah.
And sometimes even less than that. And I just don't know how it hasn't caught fire. Like, it seems like it would be a really big popular thing, especially with things like Among Us, that was literally a game that was nothing, and then now it's like the biggest game out there.
Yeah, that's currently at the time of recording,
it was like
Among
80
Us is
concurrent
huge.
people, and then it jumped up to like 200,000.
The fact that they made a second game, that has to say something, right?
Yeah, and Spelunky was actually made by one dude. So
Yeah.
like, it's one of those games that's just made by one guy with like hand-drawn art and stuff in it that just became a big success. And then I think I was talking about this other show earlier. This show was on FX, and it was about a U.S. Marshal in Kentucky. It was a modern Western, and it was called Justified.
Oh yeah, because we picked up a little tiny pistol, and you were like, damn, that's like...
Yeah, and I was like, I know all about the Dillinger pistol.
The Dillinger pistol.
Dillinger? No, Derringer.
Derringer,
Sorry,
yeah.
Derringer.
Dylan Derringer.
Yeah, Derringer. But yeah, that show was really good. Had really good writing. Has Timothy Olyphant in it from Live Free or Die Hard. He was in Scream 2. The other show with Drew Barrymore on Netflix about the zombies. I forgot.
Zombie show.
Yeah, it was a zombie show where she's a zombie and he's the husband. He has to like cover up her like
Clarita's
eating
Diet
people.
or something?
Yeah, Santa Clarita Diet.
Yeah,
Diet.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Santa
and
Clarita
it's like
Diet.
a serious drama. Lots of people come in on that show. It's really good.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of underrated. Just stuff that I mentioned that like nobody has a clue. Like it never existed.
All right, cool.
That's all I got for now.
Katie, like, what shot to mind when Andrew said that?
What movie comes to mind for some reason is one of my favorite movies, which is A League of Their Own.
Oh yeah.
If anybody has ever seen that.
Never saw that.
I don't think I know that one.
That's a good movie. It's about when men go to war and then the women take over like the industry of like playing baseball. I'm sure if you haven't seen the movie, you've probably heard the quote, "There's no crying in baseball."
There's angels in the
where-
outfield out here.
That's
Yeah,
not the
Charlie.
same movie.
There's angels. There's
Not
angels
the
in this
same
outfield.
movie.
Charlie's outfield.
I love that. There's like a meme going around where people keep saying the title of the thing that they're in.
What about Undertale? You played Undertale.
Ooh, Undertale's underrated.
Yeah, I'd say
Far as I've
Undertale. Undertale was a really good one.
You know, Tyler, the creator, like loves Undertale. I remember
Does
when Deltarune came out, he's like, "This is my fucking shit, dude," on Twitter. What shot to my? Let's see. I don't think enough people play the first Nier. I'll die on that hill.
I knew you were gonna say it, Chris. I knew you were gonna
They're
do the
coming
Nier.
out with a
Great
remake. I feel weird because anybody who doesn't know about Nier 1, you play the US version of Nier 1, you play as a father going on without spoiling, going on a quest to get his daughter back. And in the Japanese version of the same game, you play as a brother trying to get his sister back. But I feel like
Oh, I didn't know that.
Isn't that the premise of Silent Hill 1?
yeah. I don't know. I feel like the connection between a father and daughter is like, I don't know. I just like that for the characters better. But the remake that they're coming out with later next year it's centered around the brother. Like they're just focusing on the brother. But I don't care. As long as people can get to experience the side characters is really where it's at. Like, let's see, Nier. I think everybody knows how much I love Silent Hill 2. But I feel like the reason why I love Silent Hill 2 was it just blindsided me with like, oh, whoa, games can be used as like total storytelling
Really
like, piece.
artistic.
Yeah, like it was nothing like I ever played before, and I think that just totally like slapped my ass.
I mean, now more than ever,
Spanked
I
you.
feel like it's bigger than the movie industry right now.
Yeah, that's a thing Yoko Taro really hones in on when he makes games. The guy who made Nier and Nier Automata and Drakengard and stuff, where games are like the future of storytelling, stuff like that. And then you have VR coming out. It's gonna be nuts.
VR has been amazing lately. I'm just saying.
I haven't gotten to mess around with it too much, but Erica booted up her Vive and she was like, "Oh, check this out!" And it was a scale recreation of the town of Silent Hill in Silent Hill 2. It looked like I was walking around in a PS2 game.
Ooh.
It was fucking it was crazy as fuck.
There are a lot of games that have like the I guess the animation style, or just graphically, it looks like that shell shading kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess because it's easier to do, but it's still super immersive. I'm borrowing an Oculus right now, and I played, I think it was like Vader Immortal, and, you know, that was like a full, it's 3 episodes. I played the first one, but even that, it's just like a full another story to add in all these other free options and games and stuff. It's pretty cool, all the stuff that you have available.
To add on that, Rule of Rose is probably another example of something that could not work as a movie or like a book or anything. It's just perfect with the music and the atmosphere and the setting, and everything but the combat in that game is absolutely perfect. But it makes sense that the combat's not good because you're... Oh, yeah, the VR for Silent Hill 2 was really weird because I felt like I was in a place that I've been 1,000 times before, but now I was there and looking around, like turning my head and stuff. It was really surreal. I was vibrating the whole time.
Just getting chills.
Erica had to say, calm down, yeah. Andrew.
Yeah, I've got a laundry list of things that I could do. The one that I've just been putting a lot of time into recently, that I think it gets a decent amount of play and people know about it, but I don't often see a lot of people actually pick it up and say, yo, this is really fun, and showing it off to other people, is Devil May Cry 5.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, Devil May Cry
that one's fun.
5 is so much fun, and I think a lot of people could really enjoy it if they just picked it up and tried it, because there's just... and just the ramp up of the way 5's story and gameplay works, it's just beautiful. So like I've been putting more time into that because of Special Edition coming out in November, so I got to get my practice on.
Oh, they're actually coming out with another edition of it.
So DMC 5 Special comes out in November, and it adds one more character that you can play as.
Bayonetta? Kind of, a little bit Bayonetta?
For films, I actually have my physical copy here. This is Metropolis by Tezuka, the guy who made Astro Boy. You have footage of Metropolis in your Be Right Back, Chris.
I know.
While I don't, there are parts of Metropolis's plot that are a little odd to me, and the dub's kind of odd. It is a gorgeous movie that is like beautifully hand drawn. Basically, it's just talking about a future city and what is the difference between a robot and a human, and what is the difference of life and synthetics.
You know, I've heard of it before, but I never saw time to watch it.
It's awesome. It's because it's built by Tezuka, the guy who made Astro Boy, and then directed by one of the masters who made Galaxy Express 999, but then written by the guy who did Akira.
Oh.
I have almost watched Akira twice, but I keep stopping myself because I have friends that I want to watch it with.
Yeah.
But I've still never seen it. It's on my list.
They have the Blu-ray out now.
I know. It's on Hulu. It's so easy.
Akira's a ride where it's just you watch it and you go, I'm completely lost. You watch it like 4 more times and you're still like, I don't know what's going on. And then you have to read background shit to figure it out.
They announced a bunch of Akira stuff. Like, I think it was last year, the actual maker announced like a sequel. And like, yeah, there was an art showcase in downtown LA. That was there for about a week or 2. They announced a second series or a series in general or something. And then a remaster of the first one. I think they said that one of those was canceled, but stuff is happening with it.
Because I can't remember, there was the 25th anniversary a couple years back where they re-released it with just updated visuals for the Blu-ray and stuff. Yeah. One more that I have, and this can expand people's list if they have other suggestions, is just I was looking at my shelf for stuff to bring up for this topic, and I rediscovered my copy of We Stand on Guard by Brian K. Vaughan, who's probably one of my favorite comic book authors ever. If you've never read K. Vaughan's stuff, go read it, because he's really fucking good, and I've heard Saga is one of the best comic book series ever. We Stand on Guard is a story about what happens if the US and Canada go to war.
Really?
In Canada?
It's not a long story.
Oh, God. Okay, so let's talk about it.
The hell was that, Joey?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
I was on a big Satoshi Kon kick during quarantine. I showed Joey and Emily Perfect Blue, which I will sit down and watch with anybody. I love that movie. Me and the Spaghettis, we watched Paprika, which is another one. I sat down and I watched his anime series, which I always forget the fucking name of. My brain wants to say Psycho-Pass, but that's not it. What is the name? Paranoia Agent. Okay. Which was very cool.
And also, like, I'm looking at it now and produced by Madhouse. If you're going to get anybody to produce your fucking anime, you get Madhouse. Because they're fucking gods.
Who's Madhouse?
Madhouse is up there as, like, there's a couple animation studios that I find are really good at what they do. Madhouse's biggest claim to fame, I would say, is watching them go almost bankrupt making the movie Redline. Go look up just I think the first, like, 5 minutes of Redline is up on YouTube. You can just watch it. And keep in mind one key thing when you watch Redline. Every single frame and shape of it is hand-drawn.
What?
And you'll lose your goddamn mind looking at it and go, this is impossible. Well, it nearly was because it nearly bankrupted the company.
Really?
Yeah, they went basically broke making it. But they said, no, we're going to do it our way and we want to do it like this.
Honestly, it takes forever to make like those multiple frame animations, but it's so worth it.
She looks beautiful.
I'll raise you one, Chris. If you haven't seen it yet, I will definitely watch it with you. I know one of his other Satoshi Kon's good movies is Tokyo Godfathers.
I haven't seen Millennium Actress or Tokyo Godfathers.
Okay, I've heard very good things about Tokyo Godfathers.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I've never seen it. I've never seen any of his pieces. I've seen clips and stuff, but I've never sat through any of his films.
Oh my god, dude! I will watch. That's So we have these little Discord movie nights sometimes. We watch the first Saw with Ari, who I know you'll definitely see on this podcast. What's it called? Yeah, we watched the first Saw because that's one of her favorite movies. The first Saw was great.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it had its amount of cheese, but it's definitely like such a cool premise. I noticed something about myself where I really like movies that take place on like very few sets, like a very 12 Angry Men kind of approach to like stories. Yeah. I like that kind of stuff. So Saw 1 was very interesting to me. But yeah, I think the one I want to bring to one of the next ones when it's my turn to pick is Perfect Blue. So yeah, you guys, if you haven't seen it, you'll definitely have to check in for that one.
Piggybacking off, I mean, when we watch those, the like Perfect Blue and all those, if you haven't seen Twin Peaks, I definitely suggest checking it out. A lot of people think of it as like, oh yeah, isn't that old show or that weird show? But like, there's so much more to it.
Yeah, that was a good
there's
show.
There's so much more to it.
A lot of influence for Alan Wake is from Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So if you're a fan of that, you'll love Alan Wake.
I watch every day. I wake up and I watch David Lynch give the weather report.
Oh my god, I love that he does that.
Aww.
Golden rays of sunshine. Have a good day.
I hope David Lynch is immortal. I just hope. That's the one person I hope.
Need a haircut.
Dude, he's the best. Yeah, just a little story. When Joey came to visit about a month ago with his girlfriend, we were trying to get through all of Season 2 and Season 3 of Twin Peaks, and then the movie, and we were trying to watch this one video by Twin Perfect, who I've seen before because they did some Silent Hill analysis, but their analysis of Twin Peaks was a 4.5 hour long video, which they also have an 1.5 hour long follow-up. And then
2 years.
I believe another video too after that I haven't seen yet. But oh my god, dude! If you've ever seen anything Twin Peaks, or if you're interested, go watch that video. That is it. Like, Joey, how would you describe it? It just
the Twin Perfect videos.
Yeah, like
it's like because I watched the series all the way through twice, but watching that was like taking an established idea and completely changing the way that you saw it, and it just made it so much deeper. The messages in the show, every time I look at like one of those power towers when I'm driving, it's like, oh man, those owls, man.
Oh, and they just recently did a video analyzing one of my favorite movies, Mulholland Drive.
The same guy?
Yeah. Which it's had a very I love that movie to death, and I feel like my understanding of it before I watched that video was so surface level compared to how deep he digs into this. It is amazing. I think the video itself is longer than the actual movie, but
Oh my god.
it's incredible.
Yikes.
I love that. Yeah, that's another one I'd recommend to anybody who has the patience, because it's a very David Lynch stuff is very slow moving and stuff. But if you're into it, you're into it. Yeah, Mulholland Drive. That was the first David Lynch thing I ever saw, and it's still my favorite, I think.
Getting older, I feel like I'm enjoying slower paced shows and movies at this point. Like, because I mentioned Ridley Scott earlier. It's like taking that first Alien and then comparing it to like maybe Aliens 2 or something. It's like you have one director that does things super, super slow compared to the guy that made like the Terminator movies. You know what I mean? It's like two completely different ideas, but it's just a different level of satisfaction that you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially finding horror in mundane situations. Like,
Yeah, like the very simple.
like when you're a kid, you're like, wow, like this lizard with 10 heads is like scary. But now you're like, oh, walking down an alleyway and having like a confrontation with someone is way more realistic and way more like,
Terrifying.
yeah, terrifying and scary.
What are some of the best horror movies? What you know of? It's like some top random ones that come to mind. There was this movie like in early 2000s. They did a boogeyman movie. They did another one that was The Darkness or something like that. It was about light and darkness in some coastal town. Like some lady comes and attacks you in the dark. And then the last one is Dead Silence, and it's about the puppets, that if you scream, the puppets kill you. So if you don't like puppets, like, that movie is crazy. It's about this ventriloquist lady and her puppets, and if you see her, you can't scream, otherwise that's when they pounce and kill you. Yeah.
Jesus.
It's crazy.
This is a movie?
Like, plays on your fear. Yeah.
What's it called? One more time?
Dead Silence. Yeah. It was a good one.
That actually reminded me of one of the ones I have. Is a horror film called Oculus, which is about a haunted mirror, and the entire premise is that a brother and sister have this haunted mirror that just affects the mental state of anyone that it comes into just overall contact with, and is basically an area of effect on people. So it ends up in their like home when they're growing up, and it affects their mom and dad, and they go eventually crazy. So then years later, they get the mirror back, and they're like, okay, all we gotta do is defeat this thing and we can go. So they set up this entire procedure, and there's all these different rules about you gotta keep drinking water, you gotta have houseplants around to see if you're actually affecting it, and it just plays with your mind and all this stuff. Like, there's this great shot because you have to keep your energy and your food, like just your metabolism up. So there's one part where this character is
this
eating
mirror
an
turns you
apple.
into a sim.
Well,
yeah.
this character's eating an apple, and they pull away, and their hand is just covered in blood. And then they look at it and they go, "No, I'm eating a light bulb that they've just made me think that it was an apple."
That's sick.
Yeah, that
very,
was rough.
very like it's a bit of a later 2000s sort of, in that it got sort of caught in amongst all those other ones that came out in that time, but very well done. The other one that is not really a horror film, it's more of a gothic tale, but I just love talking about it because I love the director so much, is Crimson Peak. I will die on that hill of promoting Crimson Peak to the end of time.
Fuck yeah.
Sounds familiar.
that
It's
was
one of
weird.
Del Toro's movies.
Yes.
And it's the closest thing to a horror film he's
We saw
ever
that with
made.
Allie,
Wait,
Katie.
yes, was that about the sister and the brother?
Yep.
Yeah,
And then,
that,
oh my
Yeah.
god, I
oh my
love that
God.
movie.
That makes me, when I think about it, I feel so uncomfortable. I feel so uncomfortable, which means it did its fucking job as a movie.
It worked. Yeah.
Oh my God, it makes me so uncomfortable. Yes, that's a fantastic movie.
I love the biggest things about that movie that I love are the sister's performance, which like you watch a woman lose her fucking mind. And it's just like,
Yeah.
oh God, get out now, because it's not worth it. And the set design, I love that.
The
house.
sets,
that
right?
house is so
Yeah.
cool.
I'm adding that to my thing right now, my movie list. I gotta watch that again.
Yeah. I'll rewatch it.
a good trippy movie, because I heard you say it before, Aaron, a good like mindfuck movie, at least I think so, is Enter the Void.
I've heard of that. I think I have that on my list.
Probably. It came out a couple years ago. It takes place in Tokyo, I think, and it deals with the premise of it's like a first-person movie, but it's first person, but it's also like almost an out-of-body experience for the main character, and it deals with the premise of DMT and reincarnation. So it's definitely a strange. The movie is like a trip in a way, you could say, because they even have like the 15-minute DMT trip sequence, and then like this stuff happens. I don't want to ruin anything for you.
I have heard of that, yeah.
But I found it really, really interesting to watch. Trying to think if there's any other ones that come to mind.
Has everyone seen Old Boy?
Yeah. Oh,
The original?
Of course.
I'm joking.
That's why I didn't watch the new one.
No, I haven't seen it yet. I need to watch it.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's worth watching.
Like, everybody knows the fucking hallway scene, but
Oh, yeah.
it's basically taught in, hey, here's how you shoot a fucking fight scene.
Man, a horror movie I could watch over and over again is literally just The Shining. Like,
The Shining.
That is just...
It's a good movie.
And it's so fun looking at all the conspiracy theories and, like, there's rooms that shouldn't exist and, like, with the layout of the building and the shots and stuff. Like, Kubrick seems like a terrible person, but God, he's a good director.
I've never seen that. We should put that on the list.
It's hard
actually
to
never seen it.
watch the same horror movie over and over. At least for me, it is. I
Same.
mean, certain characters, I'd be down for more and more. Like, if I'm looking for a good slasher, okay, Freddy Krueger's good because it's like that could go anywhere. You know what I mean? If they make it good. That's why I wasn't a biggest fan of the reboot, because it's like you take this established character who could do anything and you make him so they like watered him down, in my opinion. You know what I mean? It's like you're dealing with dreams. You could fucking be in a tractor, do whatever. Yeah, I don't know why tractor, but whatever. Yeah, you get it. Other than that, I really have been enjoying the Collector series, and I heard they're making a new one. A third one for 2021 or 2.
Wait, I think Chris can answer this question. Is the Freddy Krueger movie is the one where they, like, in DVD completely fucked up Quentin, his character?
Yeah.
Is that
Okay,
where
like,
he's from?
I don't even know who the fuck Quentin is. It's like, if in Dead by
Double dirty.
Daylight, it should be the chick from the first and third movie should be the survivor. It shouldn't be Quentin.
If you're listening to this, look up. I don't know who Quentin Smith is. I don't know what movie he comes from, but look up Quentin Smith in Dead by Daylight and look at him from whatever movie he's from. Why did they do that to that poor person? He looks awful. Dude, I don't know. Oh my God.
I wasn't the biggest fan of Dead by Daylight taking the new movie, but I understand it.
I have not seen a lot of those classic slasher movies. I just have not.
Watch them.
Slashers are fun. Like, I just watched Hatchet for the first time today, just because I'm tired of like watching Scream and Halloween and all those ones. I've seen them too many times.
Everybody's seen Cabin in the Woods, right?
Cabin in the Woods is a great movie. Final Girls
That's
is
a
a
good
great
one.
movie. If
Cabin
you've
in the
seen
Woods.
Final Girls.
Oh, no, I've
Final
never seen that.
Girls? No.
The Final Girls is a parody of Friday the 13th. It's a horror movie, but it parodies Friday the 13th because they're inside of a movie parodying that.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have to end the podcast. We have to end the podcast, and we'll do another one soon. We have to end the podcast, though. Okay?
Okay.
Oh,
God.
Okay, are you okay?
Like right now, or are we doing like
Yeah,
a
we have to
sign-off
end it
thing?
right
Like
now.
we're all gonna say 2 words.
No.
and piss?
All right, Joey, I need you to calm down. All right.
You want to do a haiku?
No. Okay, see ya.